Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Map 2 is live. It's the pick of Party Astronauts M80 starting on the CT side, and you are with Pineapple Phillips and Boggs on the microphone. M80. A rather disappointing start, but a fiery end yesterday versus Wildcard on this map. Can they start things off right on their CT side, given their dismal performance on the T? We'll have to wait and see. It's a stack towards A and connector. 2 long, 1 fountain, 2 con, and a complete abandonment of B, which is where Party Astronauts are electing to go. Utility on Ben Leet will be thrown in. How fast will this connector flank be? That's the question. Push out comes bomb plant shortly. Ben Leet is holding for this, but will he find them? Yes, he will at least find the first. Second slacks up close. The USP, it's not its favored range. Ben Leet will double down with 2. A long flank from Swisher and Malbs needs to come in swiftly and with a lot of aggression. Otherwise, this round will be lost to time alone.
We saw a lot of time losses from Wildcard yesterday, and I don't think this is going to be a time loss for M80 as they get domed down in their initial entrance, wreck that first one to fall. Malbs has help from Swisher, but time now becoming that big factor. It will be a couple of exits, and it will be a time loss, I think, because Malbs is going to save the armor, which is a bit interesting. I mean, he'll save the vest and be able to use that presumably in the next round. He should be safe. Terrorists win. But it's a good start for Party Astronauts, a round which gets them off to a early potential 2-0 lead. But they have to contend with whatever M80 are going to offer, which probably won't be... Never mind, it's going to be a full buy. They're going to go all in. I was thinking maybe they won't go for a full investment, but Slacks will have armor on the Scout dropped by Manx. Swisher will have Deagle armor and Util. Reck 5-7 in armor. Malbs with a FAMAS and a smoke. There's something behind this round here from M80, and considering the buy isn't all that great for Party Astronauts, Ponalin on a Scout, the Lil AKs on 2, the utility particularly light, and Chop on the Mac 10. Granted, no helmets on the other side. There's some chance for damage here for the CTs.
Some real chance of damage. Scout duel towards long. The off angle does not work for Party Astronauts in the early goings. Did he spot the Scout of Slacks? Probably. That should betray the fact that it is indeed a force buy for M80. Party Astronauts, control of water, control of connector, and now negotiating control of front bath. Good double nade on the reck. He was standing by the pillar. No kills as of yet, but good damage and good control for Party Astronauts as they now push down for a B site take. There are 3 players here. 1 in heaven, 2 down on site. One of them being that lit reck. Question is, can they actually provide any damage as they stream in? Which comes in Sixia for Sixia, second spamming through the flames, finding Manx. Swisher does find that one on the Deagle. He gets his, but this one his team was already so far behind. FAMAS on Malbs, Scout on Slacks. They both should be saved. Party Astronauts sail smoothly to a second on the board on Overpass.
They're catching the solar wind, Nate.
Solar wind, yes.
Like Count Dooku's Solar Sailor?
Yeah, I was wondering if that was what you were going for. That's a stretch.
That's a beautifully designed ship. I'm just going to say that.
Very pretty. I agree. But I would expect nothing less for Star Wars, after all.
Yes. It's really cool when you think about the fact that it uses solar radiation to kind of fly around. But I digress.
Environmentally conscientious.
It's just going to be the Scout and the FAMAS into this next round for the CT side. Maybe a couple upgraded pistols on Swisher and Reck and Manx, but overall, will be minimal investments for the CTs and Party Astronauts looking to mirror their start on Vertigo with a 3-0. M80 started on the T side on that map. EA in the mustard. Brown or yellow. Still seems like a mustard, like a spicy brown mustard to me.
I can see that. Tools out monster at range. Lots of damage taken from the Scout. Chop is the one to do the damage, actually get the kill. could find two here, but the shots are so believable. He does find one. The second possibility, but the shot just doesn't quite land. Ben Lee and Chop find one apiece. And Reck now, despite the aim punch, is able to find another and bring it 2 versus 2. He will be traded by Chop. But malbs has a distinct chance to make this work. He has a FAMAS, he has Kevlar, and he has a 1 versus 2. He's in heaven. He's paranoid about a flank. He'll fall back for the moment. How far back does he dare go? Very far is the answer. It's going to be an empty B bomb site for both 60 and Chop. They can plant, they can get some post plants. And from there, malbs' job becomes far more difficult.
The lack of a kit, the lack of significant utility, unless they go for the flank up to A, which is possible, but no, the smoke's going to give it away. Molotov onto short. malbs is making his way downtown. Or, okay, he'll... Wait, is he? Yeah, he is. Okay. I thought for a second he might have been contemplating a save, but he'll be sitting behind that smoke. 60 going for a jiggle. Chop underneath. malbs is out, but does he check the bottom? Drops down. No, he's peeking sight instead. There's a trade here for sure. Spams down 60. There's the trade from Chop. Doesn't even lose his teammate. Good little 1-2 combo from those two. And there's that 3-0 start for Party Astronauts here, but Slacks is going to get an op instantaneously. 39 kills on Vertigo for him. We'll see if he can do something similar on this map. Manx and Slacks both yet to open accounts. But this is their time to shine. Gun round number 1. And PA at least have had to invest decent amounts onto both Ben and Chop. Viz at 1400. It's not the strongest economy for a T side up 3-0.
No, it's not, especially with Slacks hitting shots like that. That was what I was going to mention. I forgot to. The Opera's duels were already so crazy. Their performance is already so explosive on Vertigo, a map not known for opping. I'm incredibly excited to see what these two can do on the Opera's playground of Overpass.
Oh, me too.
He's set up for success in connector. It's down towards Viz to distract. malbs cleared? No, not entirely. He'll find one pwn alone quick on the op, though. Does get the trade. Advantage nonetheless still remains for the CTs. Pwn alone at Tech 9. He's so good with the pistol. He knows when to swap, and he'll find the frag onto the IGL of Manx. Tied ball game 3 apiece. Slacks rotating around towards long, trying to find some map control. Ben Leet is here to challenge. Jump spotting, he's spotted. He gets the spot onto Slacks in turn. An awkward duel, but the op does not miss. And Reck in the meanwhile across the map chops down Chop, leaving just pwn alone. 1v3. He has the op, but on low HP, if I had to guess, he's going to save. Oh, grab the bomb instead. There we go. Eventually finding that. Does he really attempt this? Does he actually try to find a way in? That is the biggest question. 25 seconds left. This should be a save of the op, and M80 should be on the board rather quickly here on the CT side.
Yeah, pwn dropping an AK over to Chop or Ben. 60 and Viz should be able to reinvest here. His Party Astronauts will try and get this one back and not let M80 get off to a string. But some great opping from Slacks. Good rifle kill from malbs and Reck. Around on the board for M80 on the CT side early this time. Not letting it go to 5-0 like it did on Vertigo. And also, for M80's sake, hopefully avoiding an 11-1 CT half where they just got absolutely bullied. So, if they can get 2, it's already an improvement. But Ben is not going to have a rifle here. It's the Galil in Viz's hands. Chop with one as well. 60 that AK. And the in-game leader on a Tech 9 with util. A good amount of that for Party Astronauts. They need some opping prowess from pwn alone. And they need a little bit of a tickle. 10 HP to both 60 and Ben. And malbs will just back away. Swisher not going to go for the jump just yet. He's on the boost position. But he's buying time. When will they go? Slacks, spots, Swisher, putt, peeks and pops, and down goes Chop. That's a nice little bit of info play from those 3.
Still holding their ground. A player in the corner long. malbs needs to be careful here. Definitely heard those steps. He has support in the flashbang. That's a good one to find pwn alone. He'll fall back. He knows the second tier is here as well. Flashbang thrown by the T's. Blinds 60. Prevents him from peeking. Another flash thrown, but Slacks is here to support. furthering it, looking clean for M80. And the Galil does not ring through. Viz, he'll fall back. He and Ben Leach will look down connector instead. But Reck is already waiting down below in the pool.
One and not quite a second for Reck, but he's got Manx right there to trade. Only one casualty for M80 and Party Astronauts, and nothing to reinvest with in this round. Maybe a P250 for Viz, and maybe one for Ben if he wants to drop under 2K. But overall, an incredibly clean round and a very solid victory for M80. They eclipsed what they got on CT side last night, and it's only up from here from them now. Just Glocks and a flash. The Anders flash for Party Astronauts. For M80. Just don't die to the Glocks. Just keep your players alive. Build that CT bank. That's your modus operandi here. Nade goes in a little too early. Party Astronauts are ready for that. Malb's aggressive, though. Has to be careful not to get caught, and he's keeping an eye on Khan instead. Slacks with the op. Should be falling back with his rifle. Indeed, they will retreat to site proper. Very slow Glock round from Party Astronauts. I can't help but wonder if they're trying to goad aggression out of M80. Which if M80 have any sort of semblance of what the buy is like for PA, they know going for pushes is exactly the opposite of what they should do.
Yep, just Glocks. Don't need to push against those. They will come in. They cannot save. Reck flashed in for some information. Viz is here. Just jumping around. Might have gotten the spot. Might not have in the same vein. Slow one for the Glocks. Hoping to beckon someone in, as you mentioned, but that would be foolhardy at best and disastrous at worst. Party Astronauts are migrating over towards A. They have one player at the spearhead that's 60 in smoke. Malbs are just spotting from map. A support in the op of Slacks. But the Glock's doing some damage already. Malbs ding down to 59. Numbers have rotated around though. There should be a clean hold from M80 or thereabouts. Viz though, Glock in hand, finds one. Malbs chops down shot, and they do line up. There we go, a collapse in. One kill, though, still more than I would have expected, all things considered.
Just that one casualty, not too shabby. Slacks, Reck, Malbs having some good impact. Swisher 3 and 3, not too shabby. Pone alone struggling to get off the block here with Ben and Chop at the top. No op for Pone alone. Just a big green for Slacks here. Party Astronauts are going to need around here. They're going to need to start getting some damage at the very least, but can't imagine they want to let M80 get out to a solid CT half, especially considering how much damage that T side did for M80 in the last map last night. Reck trades out one. Pone alone will make it a 2-for-1. And that is the kind of start that Party Astronauts need out of a round.
Yes, it is. Swisher not doing his due diligence there. He does clear, but not closely enough. There was a player just waiting for him. Another push coming towards B. One player here towards the barrels. That was Manx playing an off angle. He's taken down. Malbs is spotted, dropping 2 versus 4. Malbs have to come in big here, and 1 is not enough. Slacks on the op. Sure, he's been a monster in this series, but a 1v3 is too tall a task. Plain and simple. Bomb will go down. And try to do something, but giving up the op would mean that Party Astronauts would have one in the following. That would be a big boon for Pone alone to have. Said he'll try to save it for exits. Smart call. Party Astronauts taking back a lead, 4-3. Finally finding some success in the early goings.
It's a critical round for Party Astronauts to keep themselves ahead in this one, as they were the team on the back foot for the vast majority of Vertigo. Keeping 3 alive is also good for the fledgling T economy. Slack saving the op. It's a nice touch. A timeout already called by M80. They do not want to waste any time, so they'll go right into it, calling the pause. Good amount of money left. Slacks can drop Manx. But I'm wondering what the adjustment's going to be here from the CT side. Maybe send that op towards B. Go for a monster peek. That might be more spawn dependent. Slacks has the A stairs peek, so he's definitely going to go for a fountain play. 100%. There's no way he doesn't with this spawn. Right, Nate?
Right. Got a good spawn for it. He's looking the wrong direction.
I know. Okay,
nope, there he goes. Turns around. Yep.
That's too good of a spawn to miss.
They were doing some nade charades, tossing them around, figuring out who wants what. And we saw how quickly he was able to find the pick the last time he went for the peek. It just makes sense that he go for it now. 60 with the one first at bat. Throwing a flash, doing his due diligence as he should. Does the op actually peek? Seems like he is from back party, but he doesn't find the opening. Instead, it's malbs who's supporting to find it. Good redundancy there. I was worried that the op stuck around for a little bit too long. Advantage secured. Already active on water control. Never mind, Reck is here in the pit. He only gets one, can't recover for the second with the spray, but again, the advantage remains. Shot coming out of Monster through a smoke, drops Manx. That's a good one to find in response. 3 versus 3. The rotation forthcoming from M80. It will beat the actual execute in, but there are smokes to make things more awkward for the M80 defense. Player outside heaven around the smoke is caught by Viz. Swisher in the pit now should be expected. So Party Astronauts will wait for him to make a move instead. Swisher up the dirt mound. Slack, they jump in, but he is ready for it. And AK recover 2 swing. He finds a second before falling. It rests on Slack's shoulders, but he is quick with the up, and he knows where Viz is lurking. Well played from Swisher to find a pair in the pit, and well played from Slacks, who does not miss his shots.
Huge from Swish to find 2. Slacks just has the easy job of hitting 1. He's been hitting those 1v1 op peaks so consistently over the course of today. It's incredibly impressive to watch just how well he's managing these CS2 op peaks. And M80 strike right back, deny the bomb plant. Party Astronauts are back to a 4-sub here with Tech 9s on 2. Same with the Galils. Only Ben holding on to an AK. They're taking a little bit of damage on their exodus out of T-spawn. FAMAS's for Manx and Swisher, though. M4A1s for everybody else, except for the op who saved out of the last. Swisher and Reck a double up out towards Monster. Both on the right side, Swish has a Molotov prepped and ready, but a good flash can ruin this pair's day. Or even a good short push. That smoke's going to kind of clue in where they're hiding. There comes the utility in towards the B-side. Flash goes over top. Blind is Reck, and he's able to get 1 out of that, but not more than 1. Chop and 60, the double entry. The rotations from M80 so far away. The bomb should be going down for free. And no real chance for a refrag here for M80 as they make their way on through.
Nope. The only boon they have is the fact that there's no utility smokes to further delay a CT retake. Push comes in towards pit and makes a good start on the player down below. Nade for sight, and Maul with a pair. Maul's almost the third. It's makes the trade. A very succinct, a very clean retake. The bomb does hit dirt at least, but that was a forced buy for Party Astronauts. They were banking on the fact that they could win it, and they nearly did with that proactive retake. That combination in towards water and towards pit is what gives M80 the way back in.
Yeah, some good individual efforts coming in from Swisher the round prior and malbs this time, both from pit. And M80 get their first lead here on map 2. Pick of their opposition. Looks like it's going to be a half buy from the Party Astronauts. Tech 9 armor for Ponalone. Timeout called at the last second. Good use of the clock running down. It will reset to another 20 seconds of freeze time after this timeout's done. So Party Astronauts have effectively gotten 70 seconds of talking time just by that little bit of gamesmanship.
Yes, they have. What about Malbs having to wake up individually? He has done so on this CT side of Overpass at 10 kills, top the board for his team. Top the server, in fact. Reck as well, also performing a little bit hotter individually than he did on Vertigo. 8 and 7. Slacks, not the star that he was with the op, but still definitely proving to be worth the transfer overseas. Party Astronauts now going for a rather potent half buy. They had a little bit extra cash thanks to the bomb plant. Gonna be pistols, 3 Tech 9s, 2 Deagles, and Slacks. He's gonna stick around here at Party. Needs to be careful.
He's got help.
He does have help, and he does have a player with long as well, but M80 are really getting aggressive again against pistols.
There's one from Slacks as Malb sprays away for the next 2 to peek. Chop and Biz coming up con. Slacks goes a little far to the left, but his USP will connect onto the player coming up the right. Malbs with the hat trick, Slacks with the pair, M80 with the 6th, and they don't care. They're on for a very good half now. The money's here for Party Astronauts to reinvest, but no bomb plant means they are going down to the bottom of their economic barrel, scraping up the ground for whatever they can find. No helmet and no flashbang for Pwn, or no, only a flashbang for Pwn alone. And that is not what you want to see on a T-side off at all, because an M4 headshot can do him in easily. Malb soloing the A site here, playing in con. It's a very odd move from M80, but gets a little bit of nade damage done, and a spot from Manx onto the con player. There's no way Party Astronauts know it's going to be a B stack, and that stack should eventually fade out into a more standard 2-3 split.
Yeah, they put Manx jumping up, spotting connector to give a heads up to their teammates who are slowly walking into water. Once that is done, he can be freed up to rotate back around towards A to shore up the defense with Malbs. Slacks with the op posted on short, finds one around the smoke. A second one spotted and tagged as well. And Swisher is there to theoretically mop it up. They've given the opportunity. Malbs in connector, or in towards bathroom, excuse me. Spot 6C. It's a boatload of damage. Nothing going the way of Party Astronauts. This unorthodox setup, this unorthodox beginning for M80 is really working out now. It looks like 7 should be secured, barring a miraculous return from PA. Malbs sticking around outside bathrooms. There are 2 players here. Chop in a corner. Sigsy similarly in a corner, hoping to bait someone into a peek, perhaps. Malbs is holding his ground. It'll be an A split. Sigsy, well done, taking down his opponent who harried him down to 15. There's still 2 defenders and 2 more in rotation. Manx and Optimus looking for the first. Here comes the peaks. Manx just hiding instead. Slacks is the one to take the opening. Pwn on a trade, and Opera's duel 1, but Manx is still kicking. He gets the one-shot headshot on the 1, a second, and a third on the Deagle. Perhaps no. Chop finds 1, but it's a trade from Swisher. And you mentioned the lack of a helmet could be disastrous, and it was there. The Opera swinging 1 shot by Manx, and if he had a helmet, it could have been a different affair.
It could have been a massively different affair. But now, it's going to be a force-up from the Party Astronauts that can cause a little more trouble or really give M80 that great scoreline of 8-4 on the CT side. A fast turnaround from what they had last night. An incredibly disappointing 1 round on their CT side versus Wildcard. But their best case scenario is a 8-4 half. 7-5 is already not going to be too bad, especially considering they won 11 straight in their last series on this map. But this force buy is born of desperation, Nate, and the utility's already running dry for the T side. Manx will spot out a couple. Molotov delay. Slacks is here as well. A flash for Slacks to peek, but he goes before it pops, and he will destroy 60. That is a gun available for Pwn alone to salvage. Same time, it's a man disadvantage, and now an audible to hold and wait for a push from Party Astronauts. They are quite segmented, particularly Chop over outside B. But M80 are playing very disciplined right now. They're just holding the line, waiting for the Party Astronauts push, as they have no doubt they have the better of the fighting capabilities, and Slacks shows out with a nice little molly tossed over, and all that damage onto Ben as well. He'll flash himself across and recover the bomb, but Malbs wins the fight out water into sewers, and Nate, it's a 2v5 with a combined 84 points of health for the Party Astronauts.
Talked about it yesterday. Doing math on stream is a dangerous thing, but you passed that test. 2 versus 5, both going towards short. Water control given away now, but Swisher finds Chop. Bentley not long for this world. Caught. That is 8-4. M80 looking to close it 2. We'll see if they can after the break. M80, a solid performance, a solid read overall on their defensive side. Now swapping to the offense with a hefty 8-4 lead. I'm Pineapple Phillips, joined by Boggs. And Boggs, given M80's disastrous 111 CT side yesterday, it is a good sign to see that they are ahead after their own success.
You've got to be happy, but this connector pop has actually worked out in the favor of M80 after a disastrous start, losing 2. They find the trades and a man advantage on the pushes in, and now they can go wherever they want. Something which is kind of overlooked in modern Counter-Strike is the importance of connector control for rotations, but in comes Chop. He has something to do around the pillar. He only finds the one, though. Ben is tapping away. They know where he is. It's a safe plant for Makes. At least that comes through. Ben dropped by Makes, 9-4, and M80, after surrendering the first 3 rounds of this map, have stormed their way, winning 9 of the last 10. An absolute resurgence from them, very even fragging across the board. But Nate, what is the biggest difference on this map than the ones prior for M80 in this tournament?
They have a lead?
Look at Malbs.
Oh, Malbs. Yeah, that's a good point. 17. Yeah. That's fair. I was gonna say, they've had a lead before. Running the numbers in my head, it's definitely Malbs. Yeah. Slash has been the star earlier on in the first game of this series. malbs had an okay performance, but he has been quiet throughout this qualifier. He is now head and shoulders above everybody else at 17 at the start of round number 14. Party Astronauts saving this one. M80 should have a 10th on the board. reck and malbs finding some. Manx reins it in. A little bit worrisome there for a second as the USBs found trades coming through that smoke. Just Chop now through the smoke. He'll tap one in the head, but he won't get the kill. Slaps will be the one to do him in. 10-4 secured, but that was a scary round. All three players below 35 points of health as it concluded.
Scary in terms of their health, but overall a relatively confident win. A timeout call though by M80 as they don't like the fashion in which that one was converted. Far too dangerous for the liking of them or their coach Def. And it's going to be a buy from the Party Astronauts as well. Ponalone has the op, but there is something lacking, Nate, on that CT side, which is oh so critical when the bomb goes down. There is no diffuser. That $400 piece of equipment that cuts your diffuse time in half. What's the call from M80 though? malbs AK, Galil's on 3, Swisher has that other AK. 7-7 for him, makes 8-8, reck 9-9. Really nice little parity between those three. And for Slacks and malbs, they're just out farming frags and destroying everything. Viz has the most kills for Party Astronauts with 11. Chop next at 9, but it has not been a good overall map for the Party Astronauts here, as it really seems that M80's All-Star has woken up. He's looking to try and put this one to bed. They've got EG waiting in the wings next in line. That one at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time start, 5 p.m. Pacific. 2 hours from now is the match start for that one. Then comes Swisher out the ramp, out of Monster rather. He's got the flash in, and Viz goes a peeking. He gets punished. Half damage taken by 60 as well. No damage received by M80. They've got their pick. They've got some more damage, and they back away with that man advantage. Very good start from them off the back of the timeout.
Yeah, now they can transition into their take, whichever direction they wish to go. It looks like B is the call, and Party Astronauts are getting a little bit assertive towards B, reestablishing control of Monster with 2 players. They're getting up close behind the smoke. And this could go disastrously wrong for either side. It's all on timing. It is being held for by reck. Short pipe. malbs is coming in as well. Timing's everything. reck finds one. Good trade from Chop, but malbs answers it back. The monster of Monster takes down Chop. 2 versus 4 for 6C and Ponalone. They were both towards A, and they're now locked behind the smoke. This is probably going to be a save. The op is too inflexible, and the retake, even in Ponalone's capable hands. 11-4, 2 rounds separating M80 from a 2-0 sweep to redeem themselves against the Party Astronauts.
Well, that would be revenge and quite succinct when it comes to map number 2 for M80. A date with the evil geniuses awaiting on the other side. Ponalone does get the exit onto malbs. He will not fall yet, and I don't think there's going to be much more hunting from M80, as they don't exactly have players in positions to do that now. But overall, M80 have looked a completely different team, barring that first half of Vertigo. Yes, there was trials and tribulations. There was a lot of back and forth. But once they really got towards the end of that map, they started to look more and more confident, more and more secure in what they were doing, and looking like the better team. And here on Overpass, it hasn't even been a match. It has not been a contest.
Nope. Expecting a dangerous brawl, given how the first map played out. Went to double overtime, for those of you who can recall, 1916 for M80. Hasn't been anything but, though. M80's kind of just been waltzing to victory, outclassing their opponents time and time again. Their water control never punished in that first half. That's what gave them the lead, and they translated that momentum well into the second half now. It's a half buy from Party Astronauts. Some pistols around the op and the M4, which were salvaged from the round prior. Ponalone is posted on long. It's going to be an opper's duel between him and Slacks. Perhaps Slacks jumping. Shot missed from Ponalone. He'll be forced back and away. Both rifles are here to stand on A. Maybe you're trying to challenge them, but be very careful.
Nifty little movement there from Slacks. Honestly, I'm really enjoying watching him play. It's been a very fun time to see in Slacks and his antics. And his exploits as well. Full aid take from M80, 3 up long, 2 towards bathrooms. Pwn alone on the lane side of things, keeping an eye. Then comes the flash, it's Malbs to charge out. Pwn alone will meet him with that AWP, but makes the smoke will do 1 and damage onto another. Reck will mop up 60. And look at the health on these last 3 players. No armor for Chop and Fizz, so that health can evaporate. Pwn alone has to do it all with the op, and he's burning, roasting, barbecue Pwn alone on the ground. Chop and Fizz, there's nothing they can realistically do with the amount of armor they have, the amount of firepower they possess. There is the flank. Fizz maybe one here. Surely they start to check this. Bomb will go down in a much safer position. And there's one from Slacks. Chop the last. Nade goes in, and that might just do him in. 24 HP. He's a dead man walking.
Yep. Doesn't even need to be pretty, Swisher. Just get 1 bullet in, and you're done. 12-4. Series points secured, M80. Putting all of our concerns from day 1 to bed, I dare say. They lost to Party Astronauts. They stumbled heavily on Overpass. They did recover there, albeit. But now they look to right their wrongs. 2-0 appears to be the reality now in the rematch. And of course, the Overpass performance also looking equally stout and stalwart the second time around. 12-4 is the current score, and 13-4 seems like a soon, dare I say, sure possibility, unless Party Astronauts have a killer read going into round number 17.
Killer read indeed. Will they have a counter, though? Even if they do, it's going to take an M80-esque comeback to even take it to overtime. What are the odds of that, Nate? It's just the fact that M80 were able to do it yesterday was incredible. I don't think we'll get it twice in a row.
Surely not.
It would take a Herculean effort with some help from other gods of Olympics, and Chop gets cut down by Slacks early. It's the opposite of the start that the Party Astronauts needed. It's Slacks just holding an angle with an op. One right-click scoping in. There's another one for Slacks. The Oppers duel 1 against Pwn alone. Swisher and Manx combine on a Fizz. They're waltzing out B, not even pressuring with the bomb. They're just going for pigs. They brought it to a 5v1. Ben brings it back to a 1v3. But the bomb now can rotate all the way to A, which is completely open. The nade might actually finish off Manx. No, it goes way too far. It's over for Squeaky Door. And Ben will make a noisy rotation up to the A site. He's been heard by Reck. Malbs makes his way on through. Smoke to jump up, nade as well. Actually, that's a really deep smoke. I don't think that was supposed to go that far, unless the Molotov is there for the little 1-2 wombo combo. This Ben's in the 1v3 with not much at hand to find success here, Nate.
Delaying the inevitable at this point. It feels like it's been decided. He'll walk in. He has a kit. No utility. Yeah, these post-plant positions are too strong, too plentiful. He'll walk in. He knows he has to take a duel early, but no one's peeking. M80 waiting for that bomb tap, daring him to try, and he will. Nade thrown in, fails. Ben Lee passes the first test. The second from the side, definitely unexpected. No, it's Malbs instead to cap it off with 20. 13-4 in favor of M80. They close out the series in a clean 2-0 fashion. Sure, Vertigo was scrappy, and they stumbled a bit towards the end, but they got that across the line 19-16. And of course, we just saw Overpass dominant performance, not dropping a